Hey guys, I'm the Marc and I do things, and I'm so excited for this video. Sometimes it's hard for me to get like pumped up to do tag videos, but for some reason when I saw this one, I was just excited to do it. So last week I saw Samantha March and Ali Glines did a tag together called the Eyeshadow Palette Tag, where they went through and talked about different categories of eyeshadows that fit different questions in the tag, and I thought it would just be really fun to do because eyeshadow is something that is so particular to each specific person, and it's really cool to see what people have as their best, their overhyped, their most colorful, all of that stuff. So if you guys are interested in seeing my answers to the eyeshadow palette tag, then keep on watching. Let's go. Okay, so the first question is show your newest palette. So as of filming this, the most recent palette I have purchased is the NARS Suede Voyager eyeshadow palette. This is the first time I've ever bought an eyeshadow palette from NARS. I bought this because of Jessica Braun. So far, I've not been overly impressed with the quality, which has been disappointing. I'm still in the process of testing it out. I want to like it a lot more, but so far it hasn't sparked joy in me the way other small neutral palettes have. But yeah, this is the most recent palette I've purchased. Show your oldest palette. So this is from before I had a YouTube channel. I bought this from Marshall's. It still has the Marshall's tag on it. This is from Marc Jacobs, and this is called the Object of Desire Face and Eye Palette. I will never get rid of this, first of all. The quality of the shadows are phenomenal. So it literally comes in this little bougie pouch, but this is what it looks like. It has 6 eyeshadows, a bronzer, blush, and highlight. It really is an entire face palette. I love these eyeshadows. They are so creamy. It's the only eyeshadows that I actually own from Marc Jacobs. The quality is just so wonderful. I will never get rid of this. This is like the first like fancy purchase I made for myself, and this is literally going nowhere. It is my bougie little eyeshadow palette with a tassel. So yeah. The next one is show your most expensive palette. I actually recently discussed this, but the most expensive palette I've ever purchased was $49. And it is the Faced Gingerbread Spice Palette because I am a sucker for packaging, and if you put gingerbread on things, I'm going to buy them. So Faced caught me with this one. But yeah, this is the most expensive palette I've purchased. Any other like fancy palette I have bought on sale. Basically I've bought on sale. This is the only one I've paid full price for. I don't regret it. I think it's a really nice quality palette. I like to use it in the fall and winter time, so it's not something I regret, which is a good feeling since I paid a lot of money for it. What is your most affordable palette? I think for most people these days, they're gonna answer the e.l.f. Bite Size Quads. I have Cream and Sugar and Pumpkin Pie. I definitely would buy more. The like pinky tone one has definitely been calling to me. Even the green one I've heard great things about. But yeah, these are great. They are $3 for 4 eyeshadows. They work perfect. They work amazingly. And yeah, these are my little most affordable guys right here. Okay, the next is show your everyday palette. So this one I had to think about because I really do love small mini nude palettes, but sometimes those can be very limiting in shades, and it's basically like a one look kind of thing. So I thought I'd want something neutral because for me everyday is very neutral, whereas for everyone else it might not be. So I actually decided to go with the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie palette. To me, oh gosh, these shimmery shades are very delicate, so I have to be very careful. But, you know, they don't look pigmented when you look at them, but at least on my skin tone, all of these shades show up very pigmented, and you can do a very neutral brown look. You can do a pop of yellow, a pop of pink. These are like pressed shimmery shades down here. We have darker browns. I feel like you can do a variety of nude eyeshadow looks, so to me, that's my version of an everyday palette, and that is why I ranked this one as my everyday palette. Show your most colorful palette. Oh God, I can't believe I own this, but like I really like the quality of the shadows, so I still have it. It's the Urban Decay x Kristen Leanne. I believe it's, yeah, the Kaleidoscope Dream eyeshadow palette. This is such an odd looking palette, but honestly, if I need pops of color, like this is the place to go. You have blue, purple, pink, green, orange, gold, black, bronze, and then like these are like duochrome toppers. So it really is a very unique palette to my collection. I don't keep a lot of super colorful palettes because I don't wear colorful a lot. However, when I do need a pop of something for a certain look, like this is a really good one and done kind of palette to find those colors. Okay, then next is show your smallest palette. And I had a different palette with me until I thought I have something smaller. This is the Kaja Bento Box. I have this in Chocolate Dahlia, so it comes with a glittery shade and then 2 little mattes. This is not my only 3 eyeshadow palette, but because it's like this little box, I thought like this is the tiniest one. Like you could literally probably put this in your pocket. It's so small. But yeah, I really do like this. I will say the glittery shade is very glittery and will cause a lot of fallout if you do not put something on your lid first to stick it on with. But yeah, this is the tiniest little palette I have. Okay, next, show your biggest palette. I feel like anyone who has a Morphe palette inserts their Morphe palette here, and that would be Miss Jaclyn Hill. I really do like this palette. I don't reach for it often, but when I do use the shades, they always perform very well. I know that they have since reformulated, so I cannot recommend this palette anymore because this version of the palette no longer exists, but I do like this palette, and I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. Okay, next we have show your palette with the best memory, and I really had to think about it. And for me, it is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. This was one of the first like major palettes that I purchased from Ulta. And at that time, it was like my fanciest, nicest palette that I owned. So anywhere Scott and I went, this came with me. This was like my travel palette. Like I would wear this to every wedding we went to. I know I wore it our whole entire trip to DC. So this has a lot of memories to it. I still love it. I think it's a great quality palette. I think it's very versatile. And yeah, this kind of is like been places with me for sure. Now, the next one is show palette worth the hype. And I'm going to have to say the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. I don't own any other Anastasia palette. I've never owned any other Anastasia palette because of the price, and it can be hard for me to invest in a big eyeshadow palette when I know I'm not the biggest eyeshadow person out there. So I've seen tons of Anastasia various palettes at TJ Maxx's and Marshall's through the years, and you know, none of those ones really, the reviews kind of matched what I wanted. And once I heard this one was available at TJ Maxx, I mean, I went until I found it. Like, it was like a scavenger hunt, and I found it like first thing in the morning. It was like right up in front, like it was meant to be. And the quality is just, it really is a really good palette. I'm very happy that I'm able to use this formula, and I just think it's very unique to my collection. I don't really own anything like it. Like when it comes to cool tones, I showed that NARS palette earlier. Like I think these cool tones perform so much better than those NARS ones. And the shimmers and metallics are just so amazing. I actually used Steampunk last week in my makeup roulette video, and it was like the standout shade of the video. Okay, the next one is show a palette not worth the hype. And I feel like this question can cause a lot of drama amongst the community because people are very passionate about what they like. So for me, I'm going to say this Milani Pure Passion palette. I expected a lot from the quality of these shadows based on how much people raved about them. They were $20 originally. I wound up getting this for $5 at Marshall's, but for $20, I have very high expectations, especially because of the prices Colourpop charges for very high quality products. I mean, I think the mattes work well, but the shimmers just don't do it for me. This one completely crumbles apart when I try to use it. So like, for me, I was very disappointed because when I bought this, I was expecting $20 worth of quality, and I just feel like I did not get that from this palette. The next is show your favorite palette from a favorite brand, and I had to pick Colourpop as my favorite brand. It's probably the brand that I have the most eyeshadow palettes from, and I went with Dream Street. I mean, I'm very sad to hear that they have discontinued it, but this is one of my most reached for and used eyeshadow palettes. I mean, this shadow, I cannot believe I have not hit pan in it yet. Every time I use this palette, the look just comes together itself. I don't really have to think about it, which isn't something I would have thought when I originally bought this palette. I think at first I was very intimidated because it does have a lot of colorful shadows, but the Colourpop formula just works out so well, and it is my favorite from Colourpop for sure. The last question is show your most used palette, and this one was an easy one for me, and that is the Natasha Denona Mini Nude palette. I have to be very careful because these shimmers have seen better days, but this one is my easy, like I'm in a rush, gotta go, throw this shadow in the crease and pick a shimmer to throw all over the lid. It's so easy. And if I want to deepen up the outer corner, I can pop this in the outer corner. Like, this one is just my ride or die, easy to use palette. Yeah, this one is this is my most used, hands down. And there you have it. Those are the palettes that I chose for this tag. It was so fun. I can't wait to see what other people choose in their tags. I think it's a really fun idea because there are so many palettes out there. It's really interesting to see what people rank as different categories of their collection. And thank you to Samantha and Allie for kind of putting this tag together for all of us to answer, and I definitely will link both of their videos down below. And yeah, if you guys do this tag, let me know. If you guys want to answer the tag questions in the comments, definitely do so. I will leave all the tag questions in the description. And as usual, thanks for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, click the subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I have my Twitter and my Instagram down below. Give them a follow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys!